Hi, let's do some quick revisions in the Pythagoras Theorem chapters. Now let's say we have a right angle triangle. We have a right angle triangle. The side which is opposite the right angle, we call it hypotenuse. And this side is the longest side among the three sides of a right angle triangle. So let me see. Okay, this is A and this is B. So what does Pythagoras theorem tell us? Pythagoras theorem tells us that the sum of the square of the two shorter sides of a right angle triangle, which means A squared plus B squared, is equal to the square of the longest side of a right angle triangle, which means A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Okay, now if I want to find A, so first I need to isolate the A, right? So what I'm going to do here is just refer to this one. Now if I want to find A, so A squared is equal to C squared minus B squared. Okay, now but I'm not interested on A squared. I want A, therefore I need to square root both sides. Square root both sides. Now I will be able to get A. Okay, this is the way how do we find the side length of A. Okay, I mean the value of A. So this A is a side length of this side. Now, how do we find B? Let's say if you want to find B, B squared is equal to C squared minus A squared. So same thing, we want B, therefore we square root the B squared. Do the same thing for the both sides. And here we will be able to get B. Okay, so this is the way how do we get B. Now how about C? To find the value of C, square root both sides. Here we will be able to get C, right? Okay, so this is a way for us to find the value of A, B, and C, but it's actually take longer time and will be a little bit harder if we do it this way. So normally I remember it this way. For a right angle triangle, remember two short, one long. This is shorter side, this is shorter side. So two short, one long. If you want to find the side length for the shorter side, minus, for example this one, this is a shorter side, right? Minus. So A is equal to C squared minus B squared, square root. Is it correct? Yes, right? Correct. Okay, how about if you want to find the length for this side, B? So ask yourself, this is short or long? Short minus C squared minus A squared, square root the whole thing. Okay, is this correct? Yes, correct. So how about if you want to find the length for this side? So ask yourself, long or short? Long, right? Which is opposite right angle. So long plus. So C is equal to A squared plus B squared, and then square root this whole thing. Okay, is this correct? Yes, correct. So this is another way to help you to get the answer faster, and I think it's easier. Okay, now let's try some questions. So this is the answer. You can pause the video and try to solve it first. If you have no problem for this question, you can just skip to the next question. Okay, now let's look at these questions in the diagram. Q is a midpoint of PR and T lies on PS such that PT is 8 centimeters, QT is 10 centimeters. Find the length in centimeters of ST. Okay, I want to find the length over here. So normally I will always suggest students to label all the given information onto the diagram using a pencil. So if you make any mistake, it's easier for you to erase. Okay, now label first. This is 8 centimeters. And QT here is 10 centimeter. Okay, and then this is a midpoint. Okay, midpoint. Okay, these are all the information given by the question. So how do we find ST? Okay, so let's focus on this triangle first. So we have two sides, the length for these two sides of this triangle. So if we are using Pythagoras Theorem, we should be able to get PQ, right? Since Q is the midpoint of PR, if we have the length here, we will be able to get the length here as well, because these two sides having, P to Q and Q to R, they are equal length. Okay, now once you have the length here, you can use Pythagoras Theorem, use this and this to help us to get the side length of PS. Once you have PS, you can minus 8 and you will be able to get ST. Okay, let me show you how do we do it step by step and to get the answer for the side, for the length of this ST. Now let me find PQ first. Ask yourself, PQ short or long? Now only focus on this right angle triangle, short or long. Remember, for a right angle triangle, 2 short, 1 long. The longer side is the side which is opposite the right angle. So this is long, short. So PQ is shorter side. So if you want to find the length of PQ, minus. So 10 square minus 8 square, square root this whole thing. Okay, be careful. Some students might do it this way, which is actually not correct. Some students do it this way. And then they cancel this. 10 minus 8 is equal to 2. No, this is not correct. You cannot do it this way. It's not correct. You can press your calculator. This one is actually not equal to 2. Okay, so now you just press your calculator. This is 100 and this is 64, right? 100 minus 64, you will get 36. Square root of 36 is equal to 6 centimeter. Label 6 centimeter. If this is 6 centimeter, here will be 6 centimeter as well. Why? Because Q is a midpoint. This means that PQ and Q are same length. Okay, now we have the length here, we have the length here. We can use the length here and here to help us to get the length of PS. Now forget about this one. Focus on the bigger right angle triangle. Okay, now ask yourself, now I want to find the side length of SP, short or long. Right angle is over here, so this is long, short, and short. Now I want to find SP, short, right? Minus 15 square minus 12 square. Square this whole thing. So this is 225, is that correct? 15 square, 225. And this is 144. Okay, you will get 81 over here. Square root of 81, which is equal to 9 centimeter. Now we know that here, from here to here is 9 centimeter. But the question is also, only asking ST. Therefore, ST is equal to 9 minus 8, which is equal to 1 centimeter. Okay, this is the way how do we solve this type of questions. Let's try another questions. The diagram shows trapezium. Show a trapezium of trapezium PQRS. So this is PQRS. This is a trapezium. trapezium. Okay, here right angle, here right angle. Okay, calculate the area in square centimeter of the shaded region. Okay, now to find the area of the shaded region, I think majority of students know that we find the area for this whole trapezium and then we minus the area for this right angle triangle, right? So how do we find the area of a right angle triangle? I think it should be no problem. 1 over 2 times the base length times the perpendicular height. So now we have no problem to find the area for this right angle triangle because this is the base length, this is the perpendicular height. So we just take 1 over 2 times 6 times 8. Okay, but how do we find the area of this trapezium? So first you need to remember the formula for us to find the area of a trapezium. Let's say I have a trapezium over here and these two sides, they are parallel to each other. Let's say this is H, this is A, this is B. How do we find the area of trapezium? To find the area of trapezium, it's just like finding the area of triangle. Remember, start with the 1 over 2. Okay, then times the sum of the two parallel sides. So if the side A and if these two sides are parallel to each other, then we just take A plus B. But the trapezium sometimes it can be like this. Okay, let's say this is 90 degrees, this is H, this is A and B. So for this situation, the sum will be this side and this side. Always find the sum of the two parallel sides. Okay, now and then times the perpendicular height. So let's say if you had another trapezium look like this. So this and this side, these are the side which are parallel to each other. 1 over 2, same thing, 1 over 2 A plus B times A plus B times the height. So the height always perpendicular height. So the height will be here. Okay, this is a way for us to find the area of a trapezium. But some students might think, might have some problem. They don't understand why do I need to take A plus B, right? So now you try to imagine I have another trapezium look exactly the same like this. And then I fix it over here. I turn it and fix it over here. So B, here will be B as well. And this A, here will be A. Okay? So these two are exactly the same trapezium. So now I ask you, how do we find the area here? This is a rectangle. So we have no problem, right? This times this. So which will be A plus B here times the length times the height here. But we only want half of it, right? Therefore, we need to times 1 over 2 so that we get the area for half of the rectangle. So this is why the formula of trapezium will have 1 over 2. Okay, and this is why, and we plus the A and B times the height. Okay, I think understand the formula is important because if you understand it, it's easier for you to remember it. Now, so to find the area of this trapezium, we know that area of the trapezium PQRS 1 over 2 times the sum of two parallel sides, which means here and here, 14 plus, but now we have a problem. We don't have PQ, but it's okay. Let me write PQ over here first. And then times the height, perpendicular height. Okay, perpendicular height. But now we have a problem. We don't have PQ. So let's find PQ first. How do we find PQ? Now you have a right angle triangle over here. So ask yourself, PQ is short or long? PQ is opposite the right angle. Therefore, this is the longest side of this right angle triangle. Long plus. So PQ is equal to 6 square plus 8 square, square root the whole thing. Okay, so this is 36, this is 64. You add up together should be equal to 100. Square root of 100 is equal to 10. Now this is 10. Okay, now I have the length of PQ. Let me write down over here. So this is 10. Okay, now we have no problem, right, to find the area of trapezium. So you can simplify it, divided by 2, divided by 2. So this is 24 times 6. Okay, 144. Now, this is the area of the whole trapezium. How about the area of this triangle? Area of triangle PQT. So this one I think should be no problem, right? 1 over 2 times the base length times the perpendicular height. So remember, the height and the base always need to be perpendicular to each other. So let's say if you have a triangle like this, the height is over here. This is a base length. This is a base length. This is a height. Okay. Okay. Divided by 2. Divided by 2. This will give us 24. Now, area of the shaded region. The area of the whole trapezium minus the area of this triangle. 144 minus 24. Okay, so this is 120. This is the answer for this question. Let's try another question. The diagram shows a rectangle ABCD. We have a rectangle over here, and F is a midpoint of CD. Label. C is equal to 3 centimeters, and this is 8 centimeters. Let's look at the part A, first part. We want to find the length of AE, which is over here. So this is rectangle. This means that all the angle here, right angle. Now we want to find AE. Look at here, we have a right angle triangle here, right? So to find AE, we need the length of AB, which we already have, which is 12 centimeter, and the length of BE. We don't have the length of BE. How do we get BE? Since given by the questions, this is 8, so here will be 8 as well, because this is a rectangle. So BE is equal to 8 minus 3, which is equal to 5 centimeters. So this is 5 centimeters. Now we have the length for these two sides, so we will have no problem to find the length of the third side of a right angle triangle. Okay, AE. Ask yourself, this is long or short? Opposite the right angle, right? Long. So we plus 5 square plus 12 square. Square root the whole thing. Okay, which is equal to 13 centimeter. Label the answer that we got onto the diagram. So maybe we need to use it for the next part. Now let's look at the second part, the length of AF. Okay, we want the length here, AF. Since the question tells us that F is a midpoint of DC, we know here is 12, here will be 12 as well. F is a midpoint, this means that here is 6 centimeters, here is 6 centimeters as well. Now to find the AF, we have another right angle triangle here. Now you see 6 and 8 over here. We have the length of the two sides of a right angle triangle, so we can use them to find the length of the third side of a right angle triangle. So we want to find AF. Now we want to find length AF. ask yourself, this is short or long? Opposite right angle, long. So we plus. AF is equal to 6 square plus 8 square, square root the whole thing, square root of the 6 square plus 8 square. So this is 36 and this is 64, which is equal to 100, square root of 100 and equal to 10. Okay, so this is 10 centimeter. Now let's go to the third part. We want to find the length of EF. Where is EF? Over here. And then we correct to 2 decimal places. When you see the question asks you to do so, so normally it's the answer that you get will have a lot of it's a very long decimal. So we want to round off it to 2 decimal places. So same thing, here we have another right angle triangle. We want to find the length of EF. So ask yourself, EF is long or short? Long, right? So plus. EF is equal to 3 square plus 6 square, square root. Okay, this one let me use calculator. So 3 square is equal to 9 plus 6 square is equal to 36. So here you will get 45. Square root of 45. Then I need to round off it to 2 decimal places. So if you press your calculator, square root of 45, you will get. Don't write the answer like this because the question asks you to round off it to 2 decimal places. Change it to decimal. So now we want 2 decimal places over here. So you look at the number at the back here. If this is 5 and above, so we will add 1 over here. So this is 8, right? So I will add 1 over here. It becomes 6.71. 6.71. 2 decimal places. Okay, this is the way how we get the length of EF. Now let's look at this. Okay, let me label first. Label. This is 6.71 centimeter. Determine whether AEF is a right angle triangle. AEF. Is this a right angle triangle? Now you need to show your calculation. Maybe some students look at the diagram, they notice that this is not a right angle triangle, right? Because this is not 90 degree. But we need to show the calculation. So how do we determine whether the given triangle is a right angle triangle or not a right angle triangle? We need to use the converse of Pythagoras Theorem. So Pythagoras Theorem tells us that for a right angle triangle, a square, I cannot write a square over here. So a square plus b square is equal to c square, right? So if this is a right angle triangle, this will be the situation. A square plus b square equal to c square. So that means if the a square plus b square equal to c square, the sum of the square of the 2 shorter side is equal to the square of the longer side, then this is a right angle triangle. If this happens, that triangle is a right angle triangle. If this is not equal to c square, then this will not be a right angle triangle. You get what I mean? Now, let me show you. So to test whether this is right angle triangle or not a right angle triangle, look at the side, the length of the 3 sides. Find the length of the, use the length for the longest side first. This one. This is long, and this short. This is short. Okay. So AE square is equal to 13 square, which is equal to 169, and AF square plus EF square is equal to 10 square plus 6.71 square. Okay, just press your calculator. 10 square plus 6.71 square. Okay, which is equal to, this is 10, not 16. This is equal to 145.0241. So you will notice that AF square plus EF square is not equal to AE squared, right? Therefore, we can make a conclusion that this triangle AEF is not a right angle triangle. Okay. Now let's try one more question. In the diagram KLQ, where is KLQ? Oh, sorry, over here. KLQ and LM are right angle triangle. Q and N is a Q and L. This is a straight line. The area of triangle KLQ is over here. So label the important information onto the diagram, so easier for us to get the idea how to solve the question. And given by the questions, Qn to Nl, the ratio of Qn to Nl is 2:1. So this means this is this take 2 parts, this take 1 part. Okay. Now find the length of Mn. So now here we have a right angle triangle. Right? So let's say if you want to find the length of Mn, ask yourself, this is short or long? Short, right? So that means we need to use minus, but now we have, and the problem is we don't have the length of Nl. Okay, so therefore we need to find the length of Nl first, right? So how do we find the length of Nl? Given by the question, the area of this triangle is equal to this. So you try to think, how do we get this area? How do we get the area of this triangle KLQ? 1/2 times 5 times QL. Right? So this is the way that we use to find the area of the triangle. And given by the question, the area of the triangle is 90. From here, we actually can get the length of QL, right? Once we have the length of QL, we can use this ratio to help us to get the length of NL. Once we have NL, we can use these two sides, the length for these two sides, to get the length of the third side of a right angle triangle. Okay, do you get what I mean? Okay, let me show you how do we get the answer. So this is actually 5/2 times QL is equal to 90. So QL is equal to 90 divided by this, because this times this. So move this to other side, it becomes divide. 90 divided by 5/2. You can press your calculator, or you can change it to multiply and then flip over the numerator and denominator. Okay, QL is 36 centimeter. Now, when you look at the ratio here, you know that this is 2 parts, this is 1 part. So total, how many parts? 3 parts. So 36 divided into 3 parts. NL. First, I'm going to take 36 divided by 3. Why do I take 36 divided by 3? Because here 3 parts. And NL take only 1 part. Times 1. Okay, this will be 12 centimeters. Now I know that NL is 12 centimeter. Now I have the length here and here. So can I get the length of MN? No problem, right? So before getting MN, ask yourself, this is short or long? Short. Therefore, minus. MN is equal to 15 square minus 12 square root. Okay, some students might be thinking, how do I know this minus this square minus this square, or this square minus this square? So definitely you need to take the bigger number minus small number, right? Why? Because we are talking about the length, so the length needs to be always positive, it cannot be negative, right? If you take this minus this square minus this square, you will get a negative answer. So you square root of a negative answer, you will get problem. Okay. Now 15 square minus 12 square, which is equal to 81. Square root of 81 is equal to 9. Now we got the answer. MN is equal to 9 centimeter.